Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to dive right into it. We have a small group, but that's all right. We have some lovely people with us. I'm Nadine McCormick, Public Information Officer for Annapolis Remo, and we have Deputy Warden Dustin Enslow here. He will, as in the past, give you a brief background on an update, and then I will open it for questioning. You can go ahead, Deputy Warden.
Thank you very much, Nadine. So first, I'm going to start with the update around the fire itself. So as of right now, the latest reports we have is there has been no growth since the last report yesterday, which is a good news, and it's a huge morale booster for not only the frontline staff, but for the residents and for our staff here at the county. So it's still under control, but the crews had a great day yesterday, and the reporting is extremely productive and positive. We actually have, well, I shouldn't say we, Department of Natural Resources has people on the ground that are actually able to fight the fire. Leading up to yesterday, they were only really able to fight it from the air. So the fact that we now have people on the ground is making some quick work of certain areas and hot spots. But we want to, at this point, say by no means are we out of the woods, literally out of the woods. So we still have a great deal of things to happen, but I'll take positive news whenever I can. So now on to some other things. So we want to have a few touch points on a few important touch points. So right now there is absolutely no reentry to the site as of today. I know earlier we reported that people were able to go in, but as things progressed and changed yesterday, people are not able to re-entry. So even if they have essential things, they're not going to be escorted on site. It is just not safe at this point. Even myself and the warden have not been able to go up to the site since Saturday to even get eyes on the ground. So we're still seeing evacuees that have not registered yet with the Canadian Red Cross. So we want to encourage everyone that has been evacuated, if you have not registered yet, you can either register in person at the reception center at the NSCC in Middleton, or you can self-register at annapoliscounty.ca. So I want to just speak to that a bit, that there is some anxiety around people registering and about what are we going to do with that information. So this information that is being registered is not for any type of government use other than having contact information for the evacuees, is we will be the one that will reach out to the evacuees if reentry is then permitted again, or if something happens to their dwellings. It will only be us, and we'll be using that information. So if people want us to have the ability to reach out to them to let them know that, one, that they'll be able to go back to get some essential items, or if a worst case scenario that there's been a loss to a dwelling, that's the contact information. That will also be the information when the time comes that people will be allowed to actually return to their homes. We'll be using that information. So it's imperative that evacuees register. We had a recent change to our hours of operation at the reception center and shelter. It is now going to be from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. This change was to better reflect the need of what we're seeing on the ground and to also manage the resources that we have. But we still have overnight accommodations that are able to continue and available 24 hours, 7 days a week if evacuees require assistance. And it's important to know that that's being managed by the Red Cross. So if it's outside of the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., they can either call a 1-800 number, which is 1-800-222-9597, or they can contact the Red Cross from information that's posted on the door of the shelter. Also, the Salvation Army we wanted to confirm that they are the only ones that are managing donations for us. So they're the ones that are managing on our behalf. I know there's a lot of other people or organizations that are trying to have donations and get them distributed. But right now, the Salvation Army in Bridgetown are the ones collecting donations on our behalf and distributing through the evacuees as needed. And they are also providing emotional support services. So we're just trying to have the key messages today around evacuee safety and the fact that people need to register and people need to stay out of the area, because we've had some recent reports of people trying to gain access to their homes. We just want to reiterate, for the safety of them and for the safety of the first responders up there, that it's imperative that until this evacuation order is done, that we let the professionals do their job to fight the fire so we can actually get back to normal as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? That was a pretty great intro, so maybe you
Sorry.
answered all of them. I'm not sure. Jason, can you please give your name and who you're representing when you ask your question?
It's Jason Malloy from the Annapolis Valley Register. Hi, Dustin. Do you have any numbers on how many evacuees you have currently and how many have registered with the Red Cross?
That's a good question, because I don't have that paper with me. So right now, what we can confirm is it's 107 houses that were part of the evacuation order, with approximately 215 individuals. From the last report that I remember, because I don't have my sheet, was about 66 homes. But that was from over 24 hours ago. And approximately 113 or 115 individuals have registered. Now, it's important to know that that 215 is still a bit of an estimate, because we don't have the complete census of how many people live in each house. But if
But it's fair to say that you're looking at half of the residents that are evacuated have registered with the Red Cross?
Yes, I would say that we're at half or a little bit more. We were staying steady, pretty good at 60%. But what we're going to do is we're going to be sending out some information on that after this call.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sheldon, go ahead, please. Give your name, who you represent, and ask your question, please.
Thank you, Nadine. Sheldon McLeod from MBS Radio. Deputy Warden, I hate to go down this path, but you've been spending a lot of time talking about disinformation and misinformation, trying to clarify and sort out rumors. Can you speak to the challenge, given some of the crazy inflammatory things that people are saying online right now about the forest fires in general, and how's that complicating your job in communicating factual information to people?
Well, if I was to say it wasn't difficult, that would be a lie. It's extremely difficult, and I know that our PA team is working diligently at doing this. So we're seeing an abundance of misinformation from the fires out. People can go back, that they have permission to go back, that it goes on and on about different conspiracies, and there's just the negativity that we do not need right now. So we're trying to stay positive, and we're trying to provide as much information, correct information, but we just want to also reiterate that the only accurate official information will come from Department of Natural Resources, Department of EMO, also Nova Scotia, and from Annapolis County official pages. Anything outside of that is not official and is not verified. So I know that we've been having some issues with people posting the heat maps and looking at the fire maps on Google and different things like that. That is not a complete true depiction. It's not an official approved map. The only approved maps that will ever be released is what is released by Department of Natural Resources it'll be fanned through the province and through us.
I guess
Do
if
you
hope
I
have
that
a
were,
answers your
follow-up,
question.
Sheldon? Oh,
yeah, if I had a
sorry.
follow-up, it was you seem
Sure.
frustrated by this, and it's a very challenging situation. I don't know that you're alone right now in trying to fight through all this disinformation.
No, and it's something that no matter what organization you're with, we're constantly dealing with it. Even outside of this normal situation, there's always false information, and social media definitely has its pros, but it also has its challenges. And I know that we're working very diligently to get that information out. And am I frustrated with it? Yes, I am frustrated because our focus should be on helping the people that are evacuated and helping and supporting the individuals that are fighting this fire and not providing extra panic. Um, I'm hoping that as time progresses, that some of the false information dies down and people look, but we're seeing a different trend. We're seeing a trend of misinformation. So I'm hoping that with the interviews that we're doing and these pressers are going to help. And I have to say that the media has been phenomenal during this situation. I want to take this time to thank everyone that you guys have been providing factual information. You have been very good at getting our information out there, and I do want to say thank you that you're part of our extended support on this, and I do appreciate everything you guys are doing.
You, Jason, you have another question?
Just going back to the shelter, Dustin,
Mhm.
has anyone stayed overnight at the shelter at this point?
Yes, so we're starting to see a increase actually. So just so today is Tuesday, I recall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so sorry. So starting on Saturday, Sunday, we started to see one family and then two family. I never got a report yet on how many people stayed last night, but we are seeing an upward tick, and we are forecasting that's going to happen. And we will continue to have supports available for accommodations, and we will keep this center open until it's no longer needed. So, I encourage people to use the resources that are out there. This is the way to help the financial burden of what's going on, because we really don't want people to have that extra stress of finances when the resources are available. So these centers provide 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and supper. They also have other toiletries and different things like that that's needed. So really everything that's needed is being managed through the Red Cross as well as the Salvation Army. That way people don't have a financial burden to add to their stress.
And in saying that, why was the change needed to the hours of operation for the shelter in the center?
So we expected as time went on, of course, when an emergency first happened, we go to what our ideal plan is, and we really don't know what the need is. So the plan would have been 24 hours a day, have everything open, and then to see where things are. So as we progress, we're getting more detailed information on how we can adjust our services to benefit. We didn't change our hours uh, to affect or cause issues with anything. It's just we are now getting targeted information that we're seeing that most people are utilizing the site for day activities. So attending to get meals, to get toiletries, to get Wi-Fi access, and just a comfort station. And we're seeing less people, except for now, we're seeing a bit of an increase, but the main is during the day. So if the volunteers can focus on that, and then they would have less volunteers outside of that. But just because we change the hours does not mean that the service for overnight accommodations is not there. It's just doing it in a different way. Because we don't want to burn out our volunteers as well, to be sitting and helping people when there's only a few people there. We'd much rather see it be fluctuated where it needs to be.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions? Sheldon, please go ahead.
Sorry about that. Sheldon at MBS Radio. I won't keep you long. I know you spoke to how you would be in support of air support via fixed wing. Province announced today the CL-415s are coming in. Just wondering how you're feeling about the fact that there's some more added resources that are perhaps a little more capable than the smaller aircraft.
That's a good question. So I know that myself and others, we're really, every time there is an additional equipment being brought on board, it gives us a little bit more hope and gives us more, it's definitely a morale booster, and not just for the individuals on the ground, but for the evacuees and for the people that are in the front line. So the fact that the province of Nova Scotia is stepping up and really making sure that this is a priority of theirs, because this currently is the only out of control fire in the province as we speak right now, and they're really stepping up, and I'm really thankful. The fact that last night I saw additional aircraft that came in just for a night drop. I personally saw them as they flew over once. Every time we bring extra resources in, it just helps lower that anxiety a bit. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword where people start to have a high morale and think that we're at the end stage, which we still have a ways to go. We're not out of the woods yet. So it's definitely well accepted.
Jason, you have another question?
Last one, I'm sure. You've been pushing the 188 number a number of times over the last few days. Do you have any numbers on how many calls you're actually receiving?
Oh, I think we're breaking up a bit on.
Can you hear me, Dustin?
Oh, you froze
were
up.
breaking
Sorry.
up.
Your question.
Yep,
Can you
but
repeat that?
Yeah, you've been mentioning the dedicated number that the municipality has set up for this emergency. Do you have any numbers on how many calls you're receiving?
Right now, I do not have that offhand, but from the reports that I received recently, it's definitely close to 100, if not more. But with the information that we'll be sending out, we'll also send out that information for you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, I think we've got everyone. It was a small group, but a great group today, and I do thank you for joining us. We're going to be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. The invite I sent today is the link that we will be using moving forward. So we have that set up till Friday. We'll reconnect on Friday to see if we're going to bring it this weekend. A lot depends on the situation and the interest of having this at 3 p.m. every day, but I will be in touch. And until then, I will see everyone hopefully tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you so much for